Hole. Dig a hole in the backyard, every shovel full of poem, filled with rocks and dirt, and those twisting worms chopped in two. Then there's this hole on its way to China, and this pile of dirt by its side. A mountain heading for the moon. Actually, just real quick, my background, I studied with Charlie Simic, if you guys are familiar with him, and Charlie was a big fan of Vasco Popa from his home country back in the former Yugoslavia. And you'll probably hear some tones of that in a lot of my stuff anyway, where you just get an object and you work with it and you see what kind of magic it holds in there. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. My name is Bruce Gungle, by the way. As Jesse introduced me, I'm from Tucson, and I am in fact a hydrologist. I work with the USGS. And how I got from poetry to hydrology is too long a story for the scene. So anyway, onward. Fishing. Think of it as a sculpture. A large head upside down, buried in the dirt, right up to its ears. Neck sticks out above the earth. Veins and arteries flap about, purple blood flowing out in rivers and streams, swimming with schools of fish. Lungfish, blowfish, mouthing life's purple elixir. A bright green sandy riverbank. Trees bend over the purple stream. A bamboo fishing pole stretches to the vanishing point. Fish hooked out there, somewhere. Key. Key. So, a locksmith leads the key to its hole. One key, one hole. The pornographer waits. Camera ready. The shine of the years, the jailer's thumb and knuckle turning. The bald-faced lie of imprisonment wrenches itself free, forces the lock, while the inmate, inside himself once again, walks off into the night. Cameras blazing like Tommy guns. And the key? Back in the pocket, reading dirty magazines, shooting pool with the jailer. But, it's with two T's. You sang a lullaby, sickly, sweet, raspy as hell, a little incantation, a little smoky coil, a little goddamn lie. But now you wrinkled little white-shafted phallus, you little slug, you suicidal psychotic with a smoking gun, your tattooed body lies crushed and headless with the rest of your pack in the soft gray ash of a little mass grave. The poetry box. Poetry visits first grade in a little black box made of wood. The children hate it. Inside the little black box made of wood, words and colors bounce off the walls, and the little black box turns blacker still. The little black box cries out, I don't know if I can make it, but I will try. Inside the little black box of poetry, Vasco Popa's voice resonates still. The children hate it. They hate it, but they don't know why. Chair. Wooden and brown. 4 legs pin galaxies of dog hair to the floor. Dining room table holds chair at bay. Night after night, bony ass of family presses hard against chair. Chair pushes back. Chair upholds humanity. It tilts up on chair's back legs. God himself thanks chair, but prefers to stand. The rest of his family just hangs around the kitchen, drinks beer from bound bottles, tells funny jokes. Chair breaks a leg, and no one laughs. Joker. I had a friend who told great jokes all the time. People from miles around would visit his house just for a good laugh. Black shutters, white clapboards, it was so funny. His dog caught rocks he threw, caught them in its mouth. Never missed either. What a riot, what a joker. His fat wife was a good laugh too. Smoked Pall Malls, chains of smoke rings like hula hoops. My friend, her husband, would laugh at her. We'd all laugh, especially the guests. And through chipped teeth, the dog. It was that funny. Okay, this is my one prose poem for the evening. On my street where I live are no houses. The houses that aren't there don't have any lawns. And the missing grass of those lawns isn't green anyway. The driveways are so short that for all intents and purposes, they end as soon as they begin, if not before. The street the driveways don't lead into is much longer. In fact, it goes on and on. As far as a man on a good donkey can travel if the donkey never tires and the man never rides it. On the other hand, my street is so narrow, I'm never quite certain where to turn. I must admit, I'm not even sure where my street is. As I write to tell you this, I wonder if it isn't one of the lines on this tablet. 1,000 hungry donkeys wandering its length, searching for one good mouthful of grass. Duck's back. The full moon is at it again. Dull yellow disc strapped between strips of cloud. One last duck pounds its way away somewhere, a few feet above the lake. Think of the muscles in its back, for Christ's sake, he shouts, cutting away another small slab of dark and tasty meat. Think how much they fly, you bet it's muscle. Okay, this one's a found poem written by my wife, Carolyn Campbell. It's called Refrigerator Space. Yes, I'm out of olive oil, carrots, garlic, and half. You sped away too soon. None of it needs to come in this morn, unless you have no room. AWP. Average white poets don't really have much to write about. That's one of my favorites. AWP. Average white poets don't really have much to write about. Thanksgiving, turkey grease dripping to the oven floor, eating butter and cream on the summer farm, the blunt slap of prescription drugs, a drop of water hanging like a silver bullet from the edge of the kitchen tap, or about themselves, the long tunnel of self-awareness turning in a predictable loop, at the distant end, flickering, a candle on a kitchen table, or maybe a hurricane lamp. The wind's picking up. Rain drills down through the humidity, just now begins to buffet the windows as your mother wipes her hands on her apron. The bird nearly done when the electricity went out. The dog left outside, chained to the tree, howling. All right, here's my obligatory Grand Canyon poem. Horseshoe Mesa. We stood at the rim, packs not yet part of ourselves. We not yet part of the canyon. A dusting of snow underfoot in the shadows of sandstone walls. We picked our steps down, steeply. That evening at the river, aqua and white, driven between sandbar and black cliff face, amber in the sun's decline. In Tucson, I pause, think hard not of formulas and plot, but of a man dead. How he rose like a gas, a cluster of molecules dispersing as it rose, a final exhalation. Dawn, Horseshoe Mesa, a red butte there. My pack, my tent, orange and blue below. The wind, its cool breath rifles my hair. And it's no longer me, it's us all. And there's no longer anything to wait for. And there's nothing to wish back again. I breathe out, and far below, the river, the white throat of a bird. The ashes. And then we decided it must be time to call it quits. And then we walked along the seam that holds together the heavens and the earth. And then the nature of ourselves bared itself before us, a twinkling pinprick filled with this tiny green and red light. And then it was the witching hour and the full moon rose like pumpkin pie. And then the spider crawled along a single silver strand of its well-spun web. And then I started to ache or cramp with the effort. And then I asked you if we shouldn't just get married, or at least get a place together. What do you think? And then you felt that stone drop into the center of your chest. And then we decided once again it was time to call it quits. And then I sat on my patio in a red camp chair and watched the jets fly in from Phoenix, rising from the ashes of a Sky Harbor runway to fly between the desert stars of Tucson. And so I lay my head down to sleep, and the warmth of this place is my pillow, the dust a blanket that no one needs nor wants. And then I find myself swimming upstream, asleep, alive. Painted hills. These are some hills very close to where I live. Dust and dirt and rocks and rain and rock. This wash, it flows with sand, coyote tracks and dogs. The hills painted dark. Saguaros pull wind through spines like dust through rocks and rain. I beg, please fall. These painted hills have lied to us about their name just long enough, these darkly painted hills, like dust through rocks and rain. Wind comes up and sun begins to set, shadows stretch and snap, and hills still painted lovely black, divided by this stream of sand and rain. I beg, please fall, through dust and rocks and rain, please fall, I beg. It empties itself, this land. And yet this land, its painted hills remain, its dust and rocks and rain. This one's to my wife, Carolyn. A sort of memory. I think the skies will be clear in the morning, and the night's touch of rain will be a sort of memory left hung in the air beneath the soft breaking shine of the morning sun. Even before I have a chance to gulp down the morning's cool humidity, I will want to ask you if you've always been so beautiful. A woman's body more full and sculpted than a girl's, resting gently against the sheets. What more is there to say? Sometimes you steal my breath, and I'm startled, and all I can do is love you more. But tonight, that morning's yet to come, and here we lie, side by side. The cooler blows a gale through rusty metal vents. And inside ourselves, our lives, they grow and grow together. They fill the space we have left together. Okay, just a couple more. These ones are just really fun to read. I don't even know if they're good poems. I hope you like them. They're kind of a kick. Yeah. This one's called My Psychedelic History. Let's see if you can keep up. Boxcars of light, yellow, blue, red, light up my eyelids, and lime green shag carpeting flows out between the kick drum and the hi-hat in the evening basement where 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, getting old. Pool balls stream across a close-cut green lawn of felt, trucking into an art exhibit on Shakedown Street. The gallery, a narrow corridor. The door, a work of art between two dull textile hangings, and we walk through that door to the other side. Red dragon, purple microdot, red BBs, blue dragon, black star, electric orange sunshine, mushrooms, purple microdot, blotter, mushrooms, window pane, liquid, and liquid? No liquid. Window pane? No window pane. But blotter, and purple microdot out of the ashtray across an institutional green bridge, across the Mississippi, across a bright blue and yellow bridge, across the Mississippi, across an institutional green and rusty bridge, across the Mississippi. And let's both play both sides and remember to breathe. And I'm back, and what's going on? What's happening to us? And those colorful nighttime cars slide around the corner in Dogtown as if made of mercury. And Captain Marco, that's it, let's play Army. March down the May sidewalk to my house, and through a narrow glass window, the girl in the mirror shades watches us leave the cold New Hampshire party. And in the desk drawer, a can of tuna when we think we're hungry. And behind the flour canister, a pipe when someone thinks we want to get high. And start me up, I'll never stop, but just remember to breathe and then puke and then brush your teeth. And on a gray day, the orange and yellow African daisies are electric. And tomorrow morning when I get up, the world is flatter than Columbus could have ever imagined. Ever. But now, in the middle of a summer thunder shower, high up in pine-covered mountains on a rhyolitic canyon's edge, lightning nails a tree and it starts to burn.
Damn.
All right, this is one of my oldest poems here. This one's kind of appropriate, given the new situation in the White House. It's called The Joke That Empties Parties. Let's say I'm invited to Washington by the president himself to attend perhaps the Gala, Pennsylvania Avenue Christmas Party Supreme. I arrive sporting top hat and tails, my best bit in tucker, with boutonniere and buttonhole, while in my jacket pocket waits the slender joke that cannot be detected or suspected by detectors or suspectors. In I slide, sidestepping whirling eddies, spinning off the gowns of ladies, dodging snowflakes brushed from silken caps, and the tap, tap, tap of silver-handled cans held by the hands of lawmakers, all of whom are in attendance too. And after I dance a bit or have a drink or maybe both, I slink up to the podium through carousels of idle chatter. And just as the president himself steps up to tell us all how fine it is to see us here, well fed and fat as we all are, I reach into my pocket and out it flies on velour wings, a moth-like magnet, drawing laughs like paper clips to its slender body, the joke that empties parties. And out they all go, the entire company, through front doors swung open wide. Around a rush of Christmas air, their sides all aching for relief. But I don't go, as you might guess. Instead, I clean up on the cold cuts, then drink up all the beer, then catch my joke and pocket it, laugh a laugh, and leave the party empty as an ornament. And that'll do it. Thanks very much.